Alright, welcome to Getting Started. In these steps we are going to go over domain registration, servers, WordPress installation, and configuring them all together. Here's how it will work. First we're going to register our domain and hosting, and then we're going to connect these together and install WordPress. Starting with domain names, if you already have your domain name, you can go ahead and skip this step. Here's a few references of domain registrars. There are hundreds of domain registrar companies. The popular ones you've probably heard of are GoDaddy. This is the main registrar I use. Keep in mind a domain name should only cost you about $5 to $15 per year. Anything over that, they're likely upselling you on other additional charges. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and use GoDaddy. Go ahead and enter in your domain name. You can click search domain to make sure it's still available, and then you can go ahead and follow all the steps until you completed this process. Be aware of all the upsells on your shopping cart. GoDaddy is potentially notorious for doing this. Generally, you do not need all of these different upsells that they have. Your domain will include all the necessary features you need, including email. After you register your domain, let's move on to the next step and sign up for hosting. Let's talk about our hosting options. As with domain registrars, hosting providers are a dime a dozen out there. If you're just starting out, I do suggest you start small. You can always upgrade later if necessary. I can't tell you how many times I've seen clients overdo their hosting packages. Unless you are generating thousands of visits daily on your website, you do not need an extravagant dedicated server. The hosting provider I recommend is HostGator. Not that I'm biased with any of the other companies. I've been using HostGator for the past 7 years. The customer service, ease of use, and quality of the servers is top notch. The other options you do have are GoDaddy, Bluehost, Register.com, Domain.com, NetworkSolutions.com, and there's plenty more. For this example, I will be using HostGator. Let's look over the different plans and discuss all of the details. Generally, we're not going to look at reseller hosting, VPS hosting, and dedicated hosting. Reseller hosting is generally for people who like to resell their excess space they aren't using on their server. VPS hosting is virtual private servers. Generally, we won't be looking at that. Dedicated hosting is usually a private server. This is what I just mentioned before. As you can see, the price does reflect the functionality of the server. Let's go ahead and click on web hosting. A few things to note with hosting. Since you'll be running an e-commerce business, SSL certificates are extremely important and should factor into your choice of hosting. If you plan to take payments on your website, you will need an SSL certificate to process these transactions. SSL certificates encrypt the payment information from the web submission to your gateway provider. I will go over details later in this course under payment gateways. As you can see, they do offer 3 different plans. If you only have one single domain, I would recommend the hatching plan. If you plan to add additional domains later or additional subdomains, I would recommend the baby plan. And if you are looking for added security with your SSL certificate, I would recommend the business plan, as it's only about $4 more. As you can see, all of these plans do include a SSL certificate. If you plan to shop around with different hosting providers, I would recommend you take this into account before signing up. Go ahead and sign up for the plan that best fits your needs right now. Remember, you can always upgrade in the future. Now that we have our domain name and hosting set up, let's go ahead and connect these two together. I want you to bring up both of your tabs, one with your GoDaddy or your domain register, and the other with your hosting register. Go ahead and log into your account and click Manage My Domains. You can also click Visit My Account too. Once you have all of your domains brought up, you're going to go ahead and select the domain you want to forward to your hosting provider. In this case, we're going to use Action E-commerce. go ahead and checkmark Action e-commerce and click Name Servers. Click Set Name Servers. This will go ahead and bring up a new window. Keep this window open and go ahead and log into your hosting account. Once you're logged into your customer portal on your hosting account, we're going to go ahead and click Packages. We want to go ahead and get to our cPanel in order to find our name servers. So for this, we have our cPanel login link right here. You can go ahead and click on yours. This will bring up the cPanel. Go ahead and log in. And once you're logged into your cPanel, I want you to go ahead and scroll down. Towards the bottom of the page, you're going to see your name servers as seen here. These are what we're going to input into our domain name servers. As you can see, my name servers are already configured. To configure yours, all you have to do is click Edit Name Servers, and then you would go ahead and you would paste in the correct name servers of your hosting company. After you completed that, go ahead and click Save. I've seen this process take as little as a few minutes to upwards of a couple hours. This is because the domain register has to go ahead and forward your domain and point it to your new hosting. If your domain is currently with GoDaddy, let's say, you would just go ahead and click Standard. This would let GoDaddy know that your domains are already pointed to their servers. Now that we have our domain name forwarding to our hosting servers, we will need to let our servers know that our domain is pointing here. To do this, go ahead and scroll down. You will see a tab that says Add-on Domains. Go ahead and click that. This will bring up a new window to enter your new domain name. For this example, we're going to use Action e-commerce, and the remaining of these fields will be pre-populated. The document root is going to be the root folder in which all of your installations will happen with the domain name. And then go ahead and you can click in a password and click Add on Domain. After we added our domain name to our server, we're going to go ahead and install WordPress. Go ahead and scroll down to the bottom. HostGator has a neat little feature called Quick Install. We're going to use this to install our WordPress. The Quick Install feature handles the advanced steps with installing WordPress, along with creating your MySQL database, user information, and PHP MyAdmin info, all which you don't need to worry about now. To install WordPress, we're going to go ahead and click the WordPress button. You're going to go ahead and click Continue, and then it's going to give you the following URL in which you want to install it in. For this example, we're going to use Action e-commerce. Go ahead and populate the admin email, blog title, admin username, first name, and last name. After you've entered all of your information in and click Install Now, a new window will pop up with your login link, username, and password. Make sure to either take a screenshot or note these down. Your URL login link will look something like your domain name .com/wplogin.php. This is what you're going to use to log into the back end of your website. Keep in mind, if you just forwarded your domain to your new name servers, your website might not be available yet. If you visited your website or tried visiting it and it's been a few hours, go ahead and also clear your cache in your browser. Once your website is live, it'll bring you up to a login landing page that looks something like this. Now, with your pre-populated information you received earlier, you can use that to go ahead and log in to your new WordPress website. For more e-commerce resources, including guides, tutorials, and walkthroughs, visit actionecommerce.com. That's actionecommerce.com.